So going back to the question once again. So what all did we do until here? So it says a traveling salesman was getting conveyance allowance at 5 rupees per kilometer from his employer or from his boss. Now the salesman is traveling from Bangalore to Madras, and he will also travel back. He is traveling from Bangalore to Madras, and again he'll come back to Bangalore. Okay. So what is the distance he is covering? So while going to Madras, he travels at an average speed of 64 kilometers per hour, and on his return, his average speed is 80 kilometers per hour. Okay, from Bangalore to Madras, he's traveling at 64 kilometers per hour. While coming back, he is at 80 kilometers per hour. He takes 9 hours for the double journey. So going and coming back, the time taken is 9 hours. So what is the distance between Bangalore and Madras is what they're asking. Don't open Google Maps and all and check. We will solve this problem. Okay. So let X be the distance in kilometers between Bangalore and Madras. Okay. This B dash W is between. So between Bangalore and Madras, we will take the distance to be X. And we know the formula, distance is equal to speed into time. Okay. So that is the formula that we are using here. Okay. Then time. So this formula of distance is equal to speed into time. Okay. We know what is the time. So if you see 9 hours is the total time. So we can find out the distance, and we also know the speed. Okay. So because we know the speed and the time, we have taken the formula, or we have converted the formula in this format. Okay. So moving on further, the time taken is equal to X by 64. That is, X is distance between Bangalore and Madras divided by 64 is the speed, 64 kilometers per hour. Then between Madras to Bangalore, again, the speed was 80 kilometers, where the distance will be X only. Okay. Then now we know the total time to be 9 hours. That is, the salesman going from Bangalore to Madras and coming back to Bangalore, he's going to take 9 hours. So we have got this equation. So let us solve this equation quickly. Now here you are supposed to take the LCM. Now if you take the LCM of 64 and 80, what is the answer that you got? How much is the LCM? LCM itself is 320. I'll go by 4. So 4 into 4 into 4 into 5, we get 320. So if the LCM is 320, okay, then what should I multiply? I should multiply 5x here. 64 5s are 320. Okay. And again for 80, I have to multiply 4 is equal to 9. Correct? Now I can take 320 to the other side. 5x plus 4, sorry. 5x, let me write it again. 5x plus 4x is equal to 9 into 320. So 5x plus 4x is 9x. 5, no, not 5. 9 into 320, right? 320 into 9. How much do you get? 2880. So x is equal to 2880 divided by 9. So therefore, x is equal to 320 kilometers. This is gonna be the distance between the Bangalore and Madras. Okay. So first conclusion, what we will give? Therefore, the distance between Bangalore and Madras is 320 kilometers. This is correct. Now, let us go back to the question. We have two questions here. First one is, what is the distance between Bangalore and Madras? Which we got the answer 320. How much can be claimed as the traveling allowance from his employer? That is what is required for us to understand. Okay, so he is supposed to, one second, yeah, he is supposed to get the allowance, conveyance allowance for the kilometers traveled. Okay, how much are they giving? 5 rupees per kilometer. Now if you see here, the distance between Bangalore and Madras is 320 kilometers. And this is only one way. Bangalore to Madras is 320. But here he is coming back. Yeah, correct, Lakshmi. 320 plus 320. Why it is 320 plus 320? He is coming back. So Madras to Bangalore is also 320 kilometers. He is going and coming back. So 320 plus 320 will give me 640 kilometers. Right? So the total number of kilometers the salesman has traveled is 640 kilometers. And he is gonna be paid 5 rupees. He is gonna be paid 5 rupees for each kilometer. Now, if you calculate 640 into 5, you are going to get 3,200 rupees. Okay, you are going to get 3,200 rupees. So that will be the total amount of allowance that the salesman will get, the conveyance allowance that the salesman will get. Okay, let us write that also. I'll just add another page here. Okay, so here the next conclusion is the amount of traveling. One second. The amount of traveling allowance is equal to 320 plus 320 is equal to 640 kilometer. Therefore, 640 kilometer into 5 is equal to rupees 3,200. This is going to be the traveling allowance. Did you all understand? So we answered both the questions. Yeah, correct. 640 into 5, 3,200. Okay. Now shall we go for the next question? Okay. Now the next question is the weekly wages in a construction industry are 480. What happened, Aishwarya? Which page you want me to open? The answer to page is this. If you're copying it down, I'll send the notes. You can copy down later from the group. Or you had any doubt? You wanted to copy down. I'll send it in the group anyways. You can check from there. Okay. The weekly wages in the construction industry are rupees 480. and rupees 370 for the male and the female laborers respectively. Let us read that once again. The weekly wages in a construction industry are rupees 480 and rupees 370 for male and female. That means for male 480 rupees is paid, for female 370 rupees is paid. Okay. The building contractor agreed to raise the wages by an equal amount subject to the condition that a man's wages is 20% more than women's wages. Okay, so there is a difference of 20% between both the wages. If the contractor employer, sorry, if the contractor employed, that is employed, not employer, let me correct it immediately. Employed, if the contractor employed 5 men and 10 women, what will be his weekly wages cost? This is what is the question. Okay, so what is the actual question? What will be his weekly wages cost? The total weekly wages we are supposed to calculate. Okay, so let us start. Firstly, always define the values in statement problems. So first, what you will define, let the wages increase per week be rupees X. Wages is salary and it will be in rupees. So how much ever they have increased, so let it be X. Okay, why have we taken this as X? You'll understand in the Pavan, we are trying to find out the same thing, but for the derivation you have to be a little careful in what you will assume as X here. Okay, so let the wages increase. Here if you see, it says the building contractor is increasing the wages. Okay, that part I have taken as X. Everybody listen and concentrate. New wages for male workers. New wages for male workers is equal to, what was the original wages? How much was men being paid? How much was men being paid? 480. So 480 was the original pay for men. Okay. Now read the second sentence. The building contractor agreed to raise the wages by an equal amount subject to the condition that a man's wages is 20% more than women's wages. Okay, so that increase we have assumed it as X. So what we will do is 480 plus, there is some increase. We don't know what is that increase. Some increase is there. So 480 plus X will be given for male workers per week. For 1 week, they'll be giving so much. Did you all understand this concept? New wages for male workers. Okay. Now, similarly, let us also do this for female workers. Okay. So, new wage or wages for female workers. Okay. The original wages for female workers was 370. Okay. And there is some increase. Again, some increase. We don't know how much increase. The 20% and all we'll see later. Original was 370 and there is some increase of wages per week. Okay, understood? Clear until here? Okay. Now we will go back and read the question once again. The building contractor agreed to raise the wages by an equal amount subject to the condition. See, it says equal amount. While you're writing, underline this. I'll try here, but or I'll highlight it. Okay. Maybe that will help you. Yeah. Just underline that while you're writing the question. Okay. So equal amount they will increase subject to condition that a man's wages is 20% more than women's wage. So here is the condition. What is the condition? Man's wage is 20% more than women's wage. So now let us define for that. Now what have they told? Man's wage, let me reduce the size a little. Okay, man's wage should be 20% more than women's wage. That is what they are trying to say. If man's wage is 10 rupees, or let's say if man's wage is 12 rupees, women's wage should be 10 rupees. Okay, man is supposed to get more money than women. That is all they are trying to say. Okay, and that, what is the percentage? 20%. Now I can also write this in another way. I can also say man's wage can be 120% of women's wages. 20% is increased. Fine. 20% is increased for who? 20% is increased for man. So his 100% is nothing but 120% of women. I think you're getting confused. Read the question once again. Man's wage should be 20% more than women's wage. If man's wage is 100 rupees, what is the increase? Plus 20. Now his new wages is 120 rupees. But women's wages will still remain 80 or 100, something like that, which is lesser than man's wages. So that is what we are trying to say. So instead of saying like this, we are saying in another way that is 120% of women's wages. This is what we are trying to say. So what will happen here is, what is man's wages? 480 plus X is the man's wages. So we are, let me write down the equation. 480 plus X, this is the man's wage, is equal to 120%. 120% means 120 by 100. So how much do you get? 1.2. 120 by 100 if you do, what is the answer you get? 1.2. Pawan, not 1:2. 1:2 is different. It is 1.2. Okay. 1.2 of women's wages. What is women's wages? 370 plus X. Not 37, 370. That is the amount. Now we have got the equation. Solve this equation and find X. But before doing that, did you all understand how to derive the equation? It might seem a little confusing. Please read the question over and again, and then only you will be able to get the answer. Understood? Great. Now solve this equation and say me the value of X. Let me rewrite the equation in the next page. So the equation is going to be 480 plus X is equal to 1.2 into 370 plus X. So 480 plus X is equal to 1.2 into 370. Okay, Lakshmi got the answer, 180. Good, Lakshmi. Now say me the answer for this. 1.2 into 370. 444. Okay, everybody is getting X is equal to 180. Great. 444 plus 1.2X. Now 480 minus 444 is equal to 1.2X minus X. So 480 minus 444 is 36 is equal to 1.2X minus 1. This is 1X, correct? So I get 0.2X. So 36 by 0.2, how much do I get? 36 by 0.2, 180. So therefore, X is equal to 180. So what is X? X was increase in the wages. X was increase in the wages per week. Okay. Now let us come to the calculation of the wages. Okay. So we understood what is X. Now let us come to the calculation of the wages. Now in the calculation of the wages, new wages per week for men is equal to 480 plus X. That is nothing but 480 plus 180. How much do you get? 480 plus 180, 660. Okay, 660 is the amount that they get. Then for women, it was 370 plus X, 370 plus 180. How much do you get? Okay, let me rewrite this again. You can get confused. 370 plus 180. 550. Okay, 550. So these are the new wages. Okay. Now, read the question again. See how many times you have to read the question. If the contractor employed 5 men and 10 women, what will be his weekly wages cost? So for one person, we got to know. For one person, we understood. For one man, for one man, it is 660. For one, it is 550. Now, he is going to employ 5 men and 10 women. Okay. So now, let us calculate the total wage cost. Total wage cost per week. For men, he is going to employ 5 of them. And what is the each person getting? 660. So what will be the wages per week? 5 into 660. How much do they get? 3,300. Good. 3,300. Then for women, 10 of them are going to come for 550. So which is going to be 5,500. Now total this. Total both of them. Rupees 8,800 will be the total wages cost per week. So you have to read the complete question and answer the complete question. So did you all understand this question? Yeah, correct. 8,800 is the right answer. Everybody understood this question? Solution? Can I go to the next question? Okay. So the next question is, suppose the price of P rupees each manufacturer will supply to the market is 3P minus 4P units of a product, and consumers will demand to buy 24 minus P square units at the values of P for which demand equals supply. The market is in equilibrium. Find the equilibrium price P. So this is the question. Let us read it once again. Suppose that a price of P rupees each a manufacturer will supply to the market. So manufacturer is supplying a product. Okay. Now there is one situation in economics where the demand will be equal to supply. Okay. Where you will have the demand being equal to supply. That is called as equilibrium. That is called as equilibrium. Now, equilibrium price, if you give for a product, that price of equilibrium, if you sell a product at that price, you will not make profit, nor you will make any loss. Okay, equilibrium price, you will not make any profit, nor you will make any loss, something like that. Okay, so they have given us the demand and supply in the form of equation. If you see here, in the form of equation, 3P square minus 4P units, 24 minus P square units. They have given us the supply and demand in the form of equations. Okay, so we just have to substitute the equations and find the answer. Very, very easy problem. But to look at the problem in the question, it looks difficult and complicated. Let us read the question once again. Suppose that a price of P rupees each a manufacturer will supply to the market 3P square minus 4P units of a product, and consumers will demand to buy 24 minus P square units. Okay, so the supply is 3P square minus 4P, but the demand is 24 minus P square. Okay, so this is the situation. At the values of P, here, for which the demand the demand equals supply. I'm very sorry. Demand equals supply. The market is in the equilibrium. So very simple to write is at equilibrium, demand is equal to supply. This is what they are saying. Did you all understand the question? At equilibrium, demand will be equal to supply. Yes? Okay. Now, what is the demand? Demand is 24 minus P square. So demand will be 24 minus P square. What will be the supply? Supply to the market is 3p square minus 4p. So 3p square minus 4p. Okay, we have got the expression. Now simplify the expression. Come on. So you have 24 is equal to 3p square minus 4p. I'll take p square to the other side plus p square. So 24 is equal to 3p square plus 1p square will be 4p square minus 4p. Okay, I'll add a page here. Therefore, 4p square minus 4p is equal to 24. 4p square minus 4p minus 24 is equal to 0. Good, very good, Lakshmi. Now everywhere 4 is common. Divide the whole equation by 4. So what do you get? P square minus p. Then 24 is divided by 4 by 6. 4 6 is equal to 0. Okay. Now here you can solve this problem either by using formula method or factorization. Anything you can do. Okay. Since the equation is very simple, we will use the factorization method where a is equal to 1, b is equal to minus 1, c is equal to minus c. A into c is 1 into, sorry, minus 6. 1 into minus 6 is minus 6. So I can take 2 3s are correct. 2 3s I can take. So I can take 1 as minus 3. I'll take the bigger number as minus. Okay. So what will be the equations? P square minus 3p plus 2p minus 6 is equal to 0. So p I can take common, p minus 3. Here also p minus 3. So I can keep 2 as common outside. Plus 2. 0. So p minus 3 into p plus 2 is equal to 0. P minus 3 is equal to 0 or p plus 2 is equal to 0. P is equal to 3 or p is equal to minus 2. Now, since this is a problem with rupees and demand and all that, you cannot take the negative root. Very good. You cannot take the negative root. So, you will have to consider the positive number. Okay. So, just write ignoring negative root, the equilibrium price is rupees 3. Understood? Equilibrium price is rupees 3. Any doubts? Everybody understood? No doubts at all? Great. Now I have one type of questions which I have not solved. Okay, I'll solve one type of question and then that will be the end of the chapter. Okay, so let's quickly solve that question in the equations only. It is part of your equations only. Let us do that. So we have something like this. Solve x plus y by 4, x plus y minus 6 by 4 is equal to x plus 2y minus 8 by 6 is equal to 6x plus y by 20. Now here if you see, you have three forms of equation, but it is equal to. It is not plus or minus. It is equal to. So in this, what we will do is, we will first take 1 and 2 and we will simplify. And then we will take 1 and 3 and we will simplify. That is the logic. Basically, that is the logic we'll be using. Okay. So let us solve this. Consider x plus y minus 6 by 4 is equal to x plus 2y minus 8 by 6 and simplify. Okay. You will get a equation format. And then take x plus y minus 6 by 4 and 6x plus y by 20 and simplify. You will also get another equation. You have got two equations. Now solve both the equations simultaneously. Okay, so then you will get the answer. Did you all understand the logic?